happy to have you with us. We're going to be treated to a gorgeous day for baseball on the show. It's the Washington Nationals going up against the Cincinnati Reds. John Schaub coming up on the first pitch. And our starting pitcher here today, Hunter Green.
Power pitcher. He's going to speed you up with the fastball velocity, and out of his hand will explode the breaking ball. Very difficult for hitters to keep that front side closed and hit the ball the other way, because they know if they're not ready to pull the trigger, the fastball will beat them.
Just misses with that one.
It's a tough pitch, but in terms of the best pitch you're going to get to hit in the at-bat, that fastball was down enough where you're going to catch up to one. That's the one. When she elevates, guys aren't touching it.
James Wood stands in here, leaves that one off the inside.
Here's someone, historically speaking, that prefers day games over night games, so I'm excited to see what he does in this one.
One out, bases empty. Fly ball, pretty well struck right field. That ball's carrying. Gone! And the Nats have the lead. It's 1-0.
Boog, I wasn't sure he hit that one as hard as he needed to get it out of here, but it had just enough behind it for the homer. What an attempt at the wall, though. He really gave a terrific effort to try and bring that one back.
Keibert Ruiz in the box here. Lets that one go for a ball. That one at the knees for a strike.
Part of the order coming through now, and with one home run already in this inning, they're definitely looking to do some more damage.
Next pitch in for a strike, and the count 1-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
With that kind of velocity, an elevated fastball, even if it's still in the strike zone, can be tough for hitters to get on top of.
Nathaniel Lowe stands in now and watches strike one. 2 outs, base is empty. Right through there for a strike.
Quickly into an 0-2 count. Both pitches were down in the zone. I think you set your sights a little bit higher, because you'll have a tendency to chase if you look down in that area.
Gets it to first, and that is the inning. But they're off to a good start as they pick up a run on this solo shot. It's now 1-0. And we're back. And on the hill, the lefty, Mackenzie Gore.
It's always interesting to see how he utilizes all of his pitches and how many of those he has a good feel for on that given day. When he's right, he's really able to keep hitters guessing, and all of his stuff seems to be coming out of the same arm slot, the same tunnel, and that can make life very difficult on his opponents.
Line drive, that's a base hit.
Well, I'm not saying that play was easy, but it was harder than it needed to be thanks to the bad jump. Those small moments can be costly.
No outs, runner at first. Santiago Espinal, the next to hit for the Reds. Puts a bunt down. On the run, sends it over to first, and they get the out. Here's the lineup for the Reds. Already trailing by a run in this one. They'll be looking to get on the scoreboard early on as well.
Well, it's just the one run, so not too big a hill to climb. But, yeah, if they can answer back in this inning, or at least in the next couple, that'll maybe settle everyone into this ball game. And
this one swung on and hit well. Way back there. That's long gone. And it gives them the lead in the first. It's 2-1. Listen to these fans.
This place is absolutely buzzing right now. You can feel the energy all the way up here in our broadcast booth. There was a fastball down the middle. I don't think the hitter recognized the pitch, but once he did, was quick enough to get it in play with some authority. He got that up and out of here.
One down. Here's the left fielder, Gavin Lux. And there's a foul ball. Lux measures 6 feet 2 inches, 190 pounds, and they traded for him earlier this year. That's inside.
That's a ball. One strike.
Swing and a miss.
When you throw a fastball by a guy like that, I imagine it's got to feel incredible. Look for him to throw it again at some point.
The 1-2. Slice the other way. That's a base hit. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single.
With that fastball, even though it's high velocity, you've got to live on the outer edges. When it's right on a tee, right down the middle, professional hitters are not going to have a problem turning it around.
Now batting Jamer Candelario. Yeah, that's fouled off. And that one upstairs, ball 1. And that is downstairs. And it's 2-1.
One strike.
Swings and blasts one deep to left center. And that one hops the wall. And he boots it. Headed for the plate. He'll score easily.
Picks himself up an RBI. Nice line drive to the pull side right there, but he didn't spin off of it. That's the key. You still have to extend through the baseball in order to hit a line drive like that.
And here's the first baseman, Christian Encarnacion Strand. Right through there for a strike.
0-1.
That's through there for a strike.
Quickly down 0-2 in the count. I think you got to choke up a little bit, spread out the feet. You don't know what the velocity or the location of this next pitch is going to be.
Man at second. Gets a piece, and it stays 0-2. Got him swinging. Spencer Steer will hit next. On the ground, Nunez. On the run, throw to first. Pretty nice play there. Back here at Great American Ballpark at the plate, Josh Bell. Green back to work.
So after scoring runs, this is where you're looking for that shutdown inning. Get that hot team back in there to swing the bats.
Up the middle, De La Cruz. 1 up, 1 down.
Good slider inside right there. Batter fighting to get there, just rolled over it, got the ground ball.
And now it's Luis Garcia. Green, an all-star a season ago. He features a 4-seam fastball, a slider, a splitter, and occasionally mixes in the slurve. 1 down, base is empty. Pitch is in there, and the count is 1-1. Clyde Washington doing the umpiring behind the dish in this one. Sometimes considered a bit of a pitcher's umpire, Singy.
He likes the low ball, which traditionally favors pitching, but you know, hitters today are pretty good at dropping their barrel down, so we'll see how it goes in this one.
And there's a fly ball deep right field, and it's gone. He'll circle the bases. It's 3-2.
was one of those home runs where you really don't know if he got enough of it off the bat. I mean, he put a good swing on it clearly, but I wouldn't say he really got the sweet spot on the bat. The exit velo wasn't anything too impressive, but it had all it needed for him to circle the pillows.
Ahmed Rosario, the batter now, as he swings and misses for strike one. This to center field. Friedel on the move. Won't catch this one. It's down for a hit. So a man aboard now with one away.
Hitting is really easy for some guys. One thing that I can see already, his bat stays in the zone on plane for an extended period of time. And guys like that, they have a high contact rate and they have more barrels because of that bat being on plane. And even when you don't get it great, it's still hit hard enough to dunk something in like that in front of the center fielder.
The 0-1. Swing and a line drive ripped out into right center. That's a base hit. Quick throw back in. Lead runner holds at second with one gone.
Well, that may end up being an at-bat we go back to later on when this game is over. Nice job of driving that pitch the other way on a line. You know, hitters, they take so many reps in the cages working on going to the opposite field, and it doesn't always translate into the game, but right there it did, and he did it perfectly. Now a pretty big at-bat coming up with a chance to even this ball game up.
And now, Nasim Nunez.
Yes.
Check swing, and he went. That's strike one.
The last thing he wants is to hit the ball on the ground, but I wouldn't expect many pitches up in the zone. They'll be pitching for a double play in this spot.
One out. Runners at first and second. And he couldn't hold back. He's rung up on strikes. Alex Call digging in for the Nationals. He's 0 for 1. And that drops in for a strike.
Well, we call that keyholing. Even though it's right there and looks pretty good, if he doesn't love it, he's not going to swing that early in the count.
Up and in, ball one. Got him looking. That's a strikeout.
A lot of adrenaline, we can see it right there, and sometimes you just got to let it out. That's an outstanding job of taking that, executing, and getting out of a tough inning.
And welcome back to the ballpark. And now the right fielder, Austin Hayes. Nasty pitch right there. Strike one. Cut on and lifted in the air. Call. And there's one away. Here's Jose Trevino. And first offering is fouled off. Hard ground ball, base knock. And that turns the lineup over.
Everything came together perfectly for him right there. Not much to this one other than just a willingness to go the other way and put the ball in play. That's a team at bat right there. Nice job of staying back and letting the ball get deep.
So up next, T.J. Friedel. On the ground, could be two. Quick feed to second for one, and that's two. Back here in Cincinnati, on to the third inning. Up now for Washington, James Wood. That one finds the corner, 0-1. And that's in for a strike. Hard grounder into the outfield for a nod. Off to a good start with a leadoff nod.
I'd say a mistake pitch in an 0-2 count. Too good of a pitch to hit right there. You have to expand the zone. Keep that leadoff man off first base.
And now it's Keibert Ruiz. Runner takes off. Strike in there. The throw, tag, and he's out.
Well, this is a real momentum killer after the leadoff single. Tried to steal second base on the first pitch. Defense was all over it. Nicely done from behind the plate with the catch and throw. Then a quick tag before he reaches the base.
Looking to get the tying run on base. Swings and misses. Now 5 strikeouts for him on the mound.
Well, that's the effect of the splitter that you're looking for on the mound. Really nice pitch right there and had him out in front over the top. I'm sure the batter was thinking he was getting something else, perhaps a fastball with a little more straight and velo to it.
Low takes low, second trip to the plate in this one. Gets the call, and that's strike one.
Probably the best one we have seen. Throwing it where he wanted to, have a nice tight spin to it, and a teaser just off the edge of the plate.
Here's a 2-1. That clips the corner. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again.
I wouldn't throw him another breaking ball. Try to go again with the fastball, slightly elevated. He just is having a hard time catching up.
Swings and misses, struck him out. Nothing doing for Washington, and it's still a 3-2 ball game. Bottom half of the third, and they bring in a new pitcher, Colin Poche.
Just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their players a chance to fight back into the game.
Espinal takes a ball as he stands in for the second time.
He's great hitting the ball the other way, and that pitch did a good job to straighten him up a bit. Mission accomplished.
That one is absolutely belted. And it gets into the corner, but it's foul.
Look out. That ball was smoked. Man, I am so relieved that they have this netting down the lines. Just ensures safety for the fans. Last thing as a player, you want to look up and see a fan get hit.
Fastball for a strike.
He should get a pretty good pitch to hit here with the 3-hole hitter coming up if he's walked.
That's to third. Rosario tosses to first. Leadoff man retired here in the third.
Now batting, shortstop, Ellie De La Cruz.
And ready to hit now for Cincinnati, Ellie De La Cruz. He's already homered here in this one. Misses inside. 1-0.
1 ball, no strike.
Swing and a foul out of play. One down, base is empty. Line drive, and that's a base hit out into center field. So, Singy, let's dive into the numbers, courtesy of StatCast. Do you even feel contact being made when you hit a ball that hard?
No, I don't think so, Boog. I mean, that's just the best feeling in the world as a hitter. You square it up perfectly, and it's like you didn't even swing the bat. And there are times the ball feels heavy off your bat. You know it, but this is not one of those cases. He sent this one flying 114 miles per hour, so that's flexing your muscles a little bit.
Man at first, one away. Ellie on the move. Slings to first in time.
Just so impressed with the movement on that play. Footwork was excellent. The arm strength was there. And, of course, the most important part was getting the out.
Now the third baseman, Jamer Candelario, doubled his first time. And that is out of play. And there's a ball.
One ball, one strike.
Can't glove it cleanly. And now they'll have runners on the corners with 2 away. Now here is Christian Encarnacion Strand. Struck out swinging his first time. That's hard hit in the line. And that one is gone. And this place is rocking. And they add to their lead. It's 6-2. He only needed one swing to square it up.
Not wasting any time in that at bat, Boog. Aggressive, and it paid off. That's the exact definition of hitting the ball where it's pitched, taking that outside fastball and driving it the opposite way out of the ballpark. You want to bottle that type of approach.
Here comes the skipper out of the dugout, and he's ready to make the move. Colin Poche done for the day. We'll be back in a minute with a new arm on the mound. Lucas Sims taking over on the mound.
Gets an opportunity to square off against his former team, so I wouldn't be surprised if he came out a little extra jacked up right here.
This one smoked on its way out of here. They do it again. Back-to-back homers. And they add a run. It's 7-2. That's their 3rd home run of the game.
They're having a lot of fun at the plate in this one. They've got the long ball working for them on autopilot. Welcome to the game. First pitch out of the bullpen, a tough one. And you know he's just trying to get one in there for a strike. And on the other side, as a hitter, it's a great time to be aggressive and let it fly. It's not what they were looking for when they turned to him, but now he's got to find a way to reset.
Base is empty with 2 away. Now here is Austin Hayes. And that one almost hit him. Scorched to center. No doubt about it. That is long gone. And they boost their lead. It's 8-2. That's their 4th home run of the game.
They can't stop, and they won't stop hitting home runs in this one, Boog. They're clearly feeding off of each other at the dish. Back-to-back home runs, and these guys look so dominant right now. Pitcher might want to check and see if he's tipping his pitches or not, but I tell you what, if this was basketball, that opposing team would call a timeout to try to slow down this offense.
2 outs, base is empty. And now, Jose Trevino, 1 for 1 with a single so far. No question about this one. It's out of here. He crushes that one to center field. And they tack one on the board. It's 9-2.
Wow, 4 consecutive home runs. These guys are taking batting practice in the game. Just unbelievable at bats. And I tell you what, that hitting coach over there in the dugout, he's feeling pretty proud of himself right now.
Manager out of the dugout, and he's going to make a change. On to pitch now for the Nationals, number 62. He's into the game with the bases empty. Next for Cincinnati, TJ Friedl. And that one fouled off. 2 outs. That one misses, and the count even 1-1. Swings through that one for strike 2.
1-2.
Two down, nobody on. Swing and a miss. Got him to go up the ladder for the K. They bring 9 to the plate, and 6 come around to score. 3 innings complete. It's the Reds 9 and the Nationals 2. Well, this game isn't very close, Singy. Let's see if we got any messages from those tuning in today.
I know we got some good stuff in there.
All right, Singy, when you played, how much of a fashionista were you? Would you come to the ballpark dressed to the nines?
No, I wouldn't. Even on the road trips, I was, pretty average. There were some guys that would dial it up, and there'd be some outfits where you're kind of double taking and saying, where in the world are you going? But overall, I'd say I kept it low-key.
Fans another, and that's 3 straight strikeouts.
Well, he's been racking up the strikeouts, and what's so impressive, not walking anyone. I mean, this guy's just going right after hitters, filling up the strike zone, and it looks like hitters, they're trying to think with him, but they just are a pitch behind. Dominating stuff out there on the mound.
And that's a base hit. So a man aboard, and now it's Ahmed Rosario. Foul ball. Green ready to fire now. In the air out to center, and that'll fall for a base hit. And now 2 aboard, and the throw's offline, safe at third.
Now batting is center fielder Dylan Cruz.
Stepping in, Dylan Cruz. A single his first time. Swing and a miss at a slider.
0-1.
Swing and a high fly ball left field. Dylan Cruz hauls it in, and there's 2 away.
Now, that's a tough play for the infielder, ranging back into the outfield. There's part of him that's saying, hey, where you at, outfielder? Call me off. But he stayed focused and made a nice catch right there.
Here's the shortstop at the plate, Nasim Nunez.
Right through there for a strike. Well, if he's going to steal second, you want him to go early in the count. That way he's not a distraction to the hitter at the plate. Go ahead and get it out of the way so the hitter can focus on the pitch.
1 ball.
In the dirt. In there safely. Rosario up to second. Runner at third holds, so both runners are now in scoring position. Next offering is in for a strike.
1 ball.
Garcia, the runner at third. Rosario at second with 2 gone. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Strikeout number 8. So the Nats leave a pair. They're down 7. It's 9-2. Bottom of the 4th, leading off, Santiago Espinal. That misses the zone, and it's 1-0.
Well, these Reds putting together some really good at-bats in this game. There's been a lot to like with how they're approaching their chances at the plate. Everything is clicking, and when you're producing more than 2 runs an inning, it's pretty obvious your guys came to do some damage.
Here's a 1-1. Line drive, base hit. And the leadoff man aboard. In now for the Reds, Ellie De La Cruz. He's already homered in this game. Ground ball right side. Garcia fires over to first. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. And now it's Gavin Lux. 1 for 2. And he swings and lifts one to deep center field. And that's going to bang against the wall. Coming home. He'll score. Ball back in quickly. Runner holds at third.
Didn't take long to get a result for that at bat. Other than ripping one into the gap or blasting one over the wall, there aren't a whole lot of hits that are more satisfying than a nice line drive into center field. So that definitely felt good.
So one gone with a runner at third. Jamer Candelario, the next to hit for the Reds. First
One ball,
offering misses
no strike.
badly for ball one. A swing and a miss, and that's strike one.
1-1.
You know, that's a swing you'll see a lot against a good sinker. Just right over the top. Tough to barrel that up.
Tied him up inside with that one.
Talk about tying a guy up. That was ugly.
Runner on at third, one gone. What a stop. Takes it himself, and he got him. Nicely done at first for the out. Christian Encarnacion Strand, the next to hit for the Reds. On the ground to third. Over to low. Inning over, and it could have been worse. We're back, and there's a new arm on the mound to start the fifth. Alexis Diaz.
And you know, bullpen guys can struggle sometimes when they're called upon with big leads because it just doesn't have the same intensity as a tight game. So we'll see how sharp he is. Your mental toughness matters in situations like this as well.
Swing and a ground ball, and that's just foul. Fights that one away, still 1-2. And the pitch. Got him looking for the strikeout. Froze him with the heater at the knees.
Well, he's going to have some thinking to do when he leaves the ballpark after this one. That was his third strikeout, and this one looking, obviously, so he's been a little overmatched. He's got to find a way just to be more competitive up there at the plate.
One down, base is empty. Fought off foul. And a foul ball. Cuts on it and misses. That's a strikeout. Now only one out remaining.
Very strong coming out of the pen so far as he punches out the first two batters he's faced in this one, getting straight to work. Man, it's talked about a lot, but relievers are just so electric these days. These aren't fun at bats if you're a hitter. I'm so glad I'm retired.
Late that time, and it's strike two.
More and more guys are looking to slug regardless of the count. In this situation, we'll keep a close eye on his approach.
Hit to right, and that should do it. And he makes the catch. Ball game, and the Reds slug their way to a win in this one.
Offensive explosion today for these players. They gave up a few runs, but they had more than enough firepower to turn this one into a blowout.